Hi there, welcome back. YouTube exclusive video of the week. I am so excited about this episode because we are going to make sure you are on fire going into 2023. And this is a little bit more of a business episode, a little bit of motivation to get you ready for 2023, but it's very necessary. And there's just one thing that I want to talk about because it's one word that you're going to leave in 2022 and you are never going to use this word in 2023. I'm not saying like really never, but we're going to get into it. First, make sure you like, share, subscribe, drop me a comment if you have questions. I am so excited for 2023 because it is going to be a year of massive expansion and growth, and not just for me, not just for Legalpreneur, but for you too. I think as a whole, in general, in 2022, people just had their asses handed to them. And so 2023, we're all just coming back with a vengeance. And the one word that I just want you to stop using, this really came up a lot at Dream Bigger. For those that don't know, Dream Bigger was it's our annual conference. It was in Scottsdale or Phoenix, Arizona this past year. It was phenomenal. It was our first conference. The feedback that we had from it was absolutely amazing. And I had already had like conversations in my head around this word, but so many people are just like solidified that we need to get rid of this word because we're entrepreneurs, we're business owners, we have big dreams, and we have to get rid of the word realistic. How many of you hear people tell you, oh, come back down to earth, you got to be realistic? No, fuck that. We have big dreams. And in order to achieve those big dreams, the word you're going to replace with being realistic is delusional. Because we're not realistic. If we were realistic, we wouldn't be a business owner because the traditional realistic stuff is having the traditional 9 to 5. That's realistic. Having benefits, having a guaranteed paycheck, having that safety and security. But how is that safe or secure? Recently on the podcast, I did the budgeting episode. And that just like, that's the old way of budgeting. Like, oh, this is how much money we make. The money can go here and here. Like, we're limiting ourselves. And that is not fun. That is traditionally realistic and being safe. But as a business owner, like, we are not safe people. Like, we are delusional in our own right for good reason. Because if we were realistic, we wouldn't be achieving these big dreams. We would not be going after these big goals. And so going into 2023, when somebody tells you to be realistic, just laugh. Just say, okay, yeah, sure. Because I'll tell you my plans, my goals for Legalpreneur. I want to completely transform the legal industry. And I've never really publicly said this, everything that I'm about to tell you, like my goals for Legalpreneur, but I want to sell Legalpreneur for $1 billion. That is billion with a B, not a million. $1 billion with a B. That's a lot of fucking money. And at the end of the day, it's not so much about the money. Like, yes, I want to make a lot of money because I have big goals and dreams and I am delusional about what my life will be. But it's less about the money, but more about my beliefs, as though if I can sell Legalpreneur for $1 billion, that means that I have transformed the legal industry. My goal is to completely change it for small businesses, as in they always have affordable resources, services, affordable ways to protect their business, and not only for clients but also for attorneys. So 2023, I'm actually launching a new YouTube channel for attorneys, and that is to help them grow their own law firms. I recently got out of my own way because for many years attorneys asked me to coach them, mentor them, and I'm like, I just don't have anything to offer. Like, I don't even know what I would teach you. And the reason so for those that don't know, I grew my law firm to $1 million within 2 years, which is basically unheard of, especially for a solo or small firm attorney. And ever since then, many attorneys have always reached out, and I'm just like, number one, I didn't have the capacity, and number two, I was just like, I don't know how to be a coach. Like, well, I don't even know what to teach. And recently, literally like in the past couple of months, I'm like, actually, like, I'm realizing it, like I'm seeing it. I do have stuff to teach. I can teach them my path, what worked for me. And so because of this, like now I'm on a mission to not only change the legal industry for clients, but also for solo and small firm attorneys. And then I want to connect the two, because I've realized like I have a gift, and that gift is really speaking to both of those audiences, and now I'm going to connect the two. So I'm very delusional. I'm like, people hear my dreams and my goals and hopes, and they're just like, yeah, whatever. When I always talk about talking to real life people, but what I mean is like not business friends, just people that I know in real life. And I tell them about my dreams, and they're like, whatever, come back down to earth. And I'm like, okay, come back in 5 years and then check on me. And I know that it's because they're just so stuck in realistic times that I'm delusional. Like I am delusional, and I'm okay with that. Because if I wasn't delusional, I wouldn't be where I am today. When I launched my own law firm, I knew I was going to make $1 million. I knew I was. But even then, my ex-husband, he thought I was delusional. He would laugh at me. And now here I am, and I'm just like, I have to be delusional to hit these goals. And even when I used to talk to other attorneys about doing only flat fees and only and making as much money as I wanted to make in my firm, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, good luck with that. Here I am. Like I've completely just done away with being realistic, and I think you should too, because being realistic is only limiting you. Being realistic, that is just keeping other people safe. And we're not here to be safe. We're here to be delusional and make our wildest dreams come true. And I've talked about this so many times, especially in my goal setting episodes, but you have to have these huge goals. And even if you come short, you wouldn't have got that close anyway. That's why it's so important to set these huge goals. But it's not that you want to set them so big that you can't get behind them and really feel like you can hit them. You want to create stretch goals to where it's like, man, that's a stretch, but I feel like I can do it, because that's where you're going to really make leaps and bounds. Now, going into 2023, my revenue goal for Legalpreneur is $2 million. Like that's a stretch for us because this past year was not great, but 2 million next year is a stretch. But I know like we can hit that. And if we hit 1.7 million, that's so great. Like we wouldn't have hit 1.7 million if I didn't have a goal of 2 million. So don't ever get down on yourself if you don't hit these huge outlandish goals, because you wouldn't have been that close if you didn't have the big outlandish goal. So stop being realistic, get rid of that word in 2023, and replace that with being delusional. All right, that's it. That's all I have for you this week. Drop me a comment. Please let me know, what are your outlandish goals for 2023? I would love to hear. I want to celebrate you, and let's make this crazy shit happen. All right, see you next time.